Hello and welcome to Ideas with Diana on this December 9th, 2025. What I'd like to talk about today is basically something I saw watching Anastasia on TAC. The important thing to remember though is basically about the two chip fabs, one in Texas and one in Arizona, and the AI data centers. Well, the AI data centers are right, they do require a lot of power, we do require a lot of water. But the most important point is basically, two most important points are, one is you just can't transport one data center from Taiwan over to the U.S. or another data center over from another country over to the U.S. It's not a matter of going to the hobby store and buying a model car kit and putting it together, or a model boat kit, or even basically buying an Arduino kit and putting it together. Because what happens, making a plan is like actually running a fast food restaurant. That's why I'm in Wendy's today, because basically every fast food restaurant, when they make their burgers or make their products, every restaurant has a secret sauce. McDonald's calls it secret sauce, Wendy's calls it something else, Burger King calls it something else. And even though you try to buy parts of the secret sauce, which is basically like ketchup, mustard, and other stuff, there's still a special type of ketchup, special type of mustard, and that's what these fabs are figuring out. But the other part of what these fabs are figuring out too is the same thing that many mom and pop landlords knew a long time ago, especially when you run a 4-unit building. My family rented apartments for 85 years, 4-unit building owned occupied in Kenosha. And the main thing what you have to do is you always have to have that one anchor tenant. That one anchor tenant who always pays the rent on time. And sometimes you give them a discount rent because you have that rent coming in on time, because that allows you to keep the apartments going. That allows you to keep and for fabs, having an anchor tenant like Tesla or something allows them to keep the fabs going. And the fabs are like a 4-unit apartment building, because basically you need that anchor tenant. And what happens, you need that anchor tenant to pay consistently. So basically you give them a discount. But the thing is, even with the 4-unit, if you have an anchor tenant, you can get through lean times, because that consistent payment allows you to work with your creditors to do payment extensions. If you have everyone that doesn't pay on a regular basis, you're stuck, you're floating, or you may be sinking quickly. And then what happens if you have a second tenant, even though they may not pay on time, but they may not be as good as anchor tenant, that allows you to get through some hard times, because you have enough to float above the waves. But you need 3 apartments rented to actually make a profit, to make a proper profit. In that, though, there's a certain percentage I won't say here, but the fabs are running this. And so with Anastasia on Tech, I'm glad she's bringing this stuff out. And so regarding the fabs, the secret sauce, the anchor tenant, and also basically understanding the environment, and also getting your suppliers, getting your materials, because not all ketchup's made the same, not all mustard's made the same. That's why, for example, I'm at Wendy's now having a bunch, having a Frosty, and having soda. Even though I can buy Coca-Cola at the store, it's still not the same as from the Coca-Cola machine. And Frosty's still not the same from Frosty I bring it home, or even the coffee. So, building a fab is a lot like running a fast food restaurant. So running a fab or data center is like running a fast food restaurant, and also it's like running a 4-unit owner-occupied apartment. Well, this has been Ideas with Diana. Let me know what you think. The best way to reach me is on YouTube, X, Blue Sky, Pinterest, Facebook. I think that's it. Okay, well, I'll talk about more later. So now I'm going to enjoy my lunch.